Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Punk Yeah Podcast for Hairstylist. I know that we did take a break last week for Thanksgiving, and I think it was much needed time to just kind of refresh and reevaluate some things in life because today's topic is something that I think that a lot of hairstylists, sorry, that I think a lot of hairstylists struggle with, and that is suffering from burnout. So today's topic of discussion is burnout for hairstylists, kind of like what some signs are of that and some things you can do to try to like get out of it, I guess you should say. So, first, kind of what burnout is. So, burnout, whenever you're a hairstylist, it really starts to feel like you're just kind of like blah, like going through the motions. You always feel like you're just showing up. And yeah, like you're still creative and you're still doing your job and getting everything done. It just feels like there's nothing exciting and just there's just something missing. And like sometimes you don't know what it is. You're just like something is off, like the vibe's off or something. So for me, burnout, like you start to feel emotionless, just kind of like stuck in a routine, and you start to like stop progressing forward. So for me, when I know that I'm starting to get in some kind of rut of burnout from whatever I'm doing, I usually like will tend to not do a ton on my days off, like I'm real lazy. And yes, like these are also things that could be like depression, which burnout in a sense, I feel like is basically depression in the workplace is what I think burnout is to me. So like yeah, I'm not depressed at work. Like I am happy to be there and I'm so thankful for all my guests and stuff. But I think that there's something to burnout that like is bigger than all of us because everyone at some point in your life is going to experience burnout as a hairstylist. So, I think this is just a super important topic to talk about. Which kind of brings me to what I do whenever I am feeling burnout. So, there's a few different things that I like to try to do. And don't mind my nails. I haven't gotten them done and they're chipping. So that's another thing. But what I like to do whenever I feel like I'm suffering from burnout is really just take a week or a weekend or something and just focus on myself. So usually that consists of me drawing because that's something I'm super passionate about. Like kind of fill your cup with things that are not part of your everyday routine that you love to do. So like if you aren't working out recently, like maybe try working out. I like to draw, so I've been doing that, and I like to read different things. I love to take naps, and so like I'll just do things that make me feel good, and then from that point forward, I can then assess where I think the burnout was coming from once I have a clear mind. I feel like it's really difficult to analyze your personal situation behind the chair unless you really sit down and just make sure that you have a clear mind because thoughts that come to us whenever we're in those really low points or that we're just feeling burnt out, sometimes those decisions are irrational and they can be a bit extreme. But if you have time to think about it and really, take some time to analyze your situation once you have a clear mind and you feel refreshed, you get so many more options to kind of control or get yourself out of that burnout because burnout is like you dig yourself into this hole and you're just sitting there and it's like you dug yourself in and then someone took your shovel. So it's just like you're sitting at the bottom and you just cannot get yourself out. So whenever you have a clear mind, it's like then you realize, oh my gosh, there's rocks on the side of these walls. I can use these rocks and climb up the side and get my way out. Or, you realize there's a rope that was hanging there. Or, you can just see more options and you can think clearly versus coming from an emotional decision. So that's kind of what I do to reset, to analyze my burnout and see where it's coming from. So recently, for me personally, I've been doing the podcast and the tutorial. Last week, I took a break from both because I was like, you know what? This is a holiday week. I am committed to doing my podcast and my tutorials, but I am feeling a week of rest. Like, I need that, so I'm going to take it. I'm one of those people that if I need to rest, I'm going to do it. And that way I can come back and produce better content than just throwing something out there because I said I was going to do it and get it done. And this is something I'm doing for fun. So this is not even something that's like, if I don't do this, something's going to happen to me. Like, absolutely nothing's going to happen to me if I don't do it. So for me, it's just one of those things that I just really think it's fun and I love to do it. So I took a break from that last week, but I've been doing this, trying to do it every Tuesday, get both of them recorded. This week that didn't work out well, so I'm ending up doing it all on Saturday. So I'm going to release both yesterday's video and tomorrow's tomorrow. So there's that. But that's fine. I'm getting it out there and I'm doing it. And this Tuesday, I will be producing both. So next Friday, you will get your tutorial and then your podcast again. But that's something that I like to do is block schedule, because block scheduling allows me to make time for things throughout my day and my schedule so that I actually get things done and I do it. Because if I'm just like, oh, well, I'll probably do it during this time, then you just keep pushing things off and you never accomplish anything by doing that. And then you get stressed out and feel burnt out because you just keep pushing stuff off and you're never actually planning anything or doing anything. So that is something I've been working on, is block scheduling. So if you are like me in that regard, highly recommend actually setting time aside to do your extracurricular activities. That way it becomes mandatory and you will do things that make you happy and that you want to do. So, been doing the podcast and the tutorials. Then I have been educating with Kenra, doing in-store demos on Mondays, which love that. And that's just a few hours of my day usually on a Monday. And so on top of both of that, I've been in the salon. Now, this podcast that I do, sometimes I have guests, which is great, and I get to talk to someone. The tutorials are all done alone. And this is the analysis that I came to. I do Kenra. I'm with people a few hours on Mondays, but if I'm not booked every Monday, then it's like, I have time where I'm just at home on Mondays, which is great, but again, I'm alone. And then in the salon, I have a private room, right? So in my private room, I am also alone. So I am alone. How much of the time is that? I'm pretty sure. Let's see. So I actually see people for maybe 2 hours on a Monday, maybe 1 hour on a Tuesday, and then I see my guest at the salon, but I don't socialize with other hairstylists. So I spend about 3 hours a week actually conversing and getting some kind of interaction with other like-minded creative people. And for me, like, I thrive on high energy, people around me, like, doing great things. Like, I love to be educated and to keep learning and just know everything that there is to know. So I kind of took this analysis and I was like, I wanted to open my own salon next year. I had this idea and it was great. And then I realized I don't think I actually want to manage people. I really sat down and, like, when I tell you I thought about this, it was a huge deal. Like, I spent hours thinking about stuff and different options that I might have. And what it all came down to was I don't want to manage people. I would love to own a salon and have that experience, but I already owned my own salon, like, in my room. And even with just me, like, it's a stressful job. And I don't think that I want that. Like, I don't want to actually own it. So I think after I've analyzed everything, I was like, you know what? I think I miss being in a salon environment. So I was like, what can I do about that? Well, I can definitely. Okay, hold on. Before I do that, I also work about 24 hours a week behind the chair, and sometimes it's less, sometimes it's more. It really varies. So I'm not even in the salon for 2 full days a week. Like I'm there 2 days, but not like more than that, which is crazy to like keep renting a room, I think, whenever you're in the salon for that short amount of time. Like it's a big expense, and not that that had anything to do with my choice, but that's just like on top of everything else that I've discovered. But I decided I think I just missed the salon environment, so my option was to go and rent a chair at a salon, which is so funny. So my first salon, loved my coworkers. Like my coworkers were so awesome, and I had such a great bond with them. And then there was an owner, like new ownership, and the ownership was it was just kind of strange, and things started changing in the salon, and it became a different place to work. People were quitting, new people were getting hired who were messing up a bunch of stuff. I was having to correct other people's mistakes, which was super frustrating for me because I was trying to personally build my own clientele as well. So having to take all of that weight on was just a lot. I was commissioned at that salon and I was not rental yet. So for me, that experience was kind of like hindered or tinged. I don't know what word I would use to describe that. But overall, I loved working with the people. I loved talking to them and like getting to do experiences together. Like all of that was so fun. So I was like, I'm a really picky person. Okay, I will not work just anywhere. I feel like I have a certain vibe to myself and to my work. I specialize in certain things, and I'm like, I have to find a salon in St. Louis. It's not far for my guests to go, and that fits me as a person, and just all of these things. And that lets me stay rental because I did not want to go commission. Even though like I'm not opposed to it, I just prefer to not because I want to make sure I still have all my freedoms and all of the extracurricular activities I like to do. So I looked at a bunch of different salons. Sorry, my legs are falling asleep. I do this every single time. Okay, so I looked at a bunch of different salons and I was like, I just need one that's really trendy and professional and that just like super fits me. So I um I ended up doing one salon, and I am really excited to start there. It is in South County, which is cool, and it is super cute. And everyone that works there, I feel like, is super professional. I feel like they all were super welcoming, got my questions answered so quickly. The owners were super responsive, and I just think that this is the kind of environment I needed. And the salon, like, is so pretty. I love the layout of the salon, which is super important. Layout is such a big deal, especially whenever you are there all the time working with like your guests and stuff, because you have to remember you're going to be taking your guest from the front to the chair to the shampoo bowl, maybe to the processing area. Like there's so many different ways that they're going to have to go, and just having a nice flow in the salon is so important. So that's something that was also very important to me. And I finally found a salon, and I decided after I toured, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do it. I'm going to send it. So I ended up signing my lease today, and I am going there starting January 1st. So I can't wait to be at my new space. And then this is funny. I'll be there the week of January 1st, like starting that Wednesday. And then I go on vacation the next week. So I'm not even going to be there my second week. But it's fine. And then I'm on vacation again the next week. So that'll be 2 weeks I'll be gone, but it's fine. I'm super excited. And it's just going to be a great change for me. So if you're experiencing burnout, especially whenever you're in a suite, like I don't know what it is about being alone all the time. Like, and people are like, but you're with your guests. But it's really not the same. Like, there's something so different about being around other creative people that really just like can be inspiring and push you to the next level and just really help you like get to wherever you want to go, you know? Because for me, like, I love content creation and I love to do all that. There are so many fun videos on TikTok and like that during this whole come up. So I was doing videos when it was IGTV on my Instagram at the first salon I was at. Nobody else at the salon was really on social media doing that. So I had people there to like help me if I needed help like holding the camera so I could record something. Now I have a tripod and I do it that way. But I think that like after I moved into a loft, which I was alone for the most part, I didn't have people there to like bounce these things off of. I couldn't do like all of this trending things that I really love to do. Like I love making videos. And it's a passion. It's not like I feel like I have to. I just enjoy doing it and I think it's fun. So for me, like also being in a salon environment, like I can do all those things. Like I'll have people there who want to do fun things and that are present on social media and love doing that too. So I think that it's really just going to be like a nice collaboration atmosphere too for me. Like just getting to be around other artists. So I'm super, super excited. Back to what I was saying, if you are experiencing burnout and you are alone in your suite, like I would definitely look into going back to a chair personally because I think that this move is going to change so much for me, both like with my clientele, with my professional endeavors, like being more educated, seeing what other people are doing, getting more ideas off other people. Like, I thrive and I live off that. And I think that if you are struggling, I think that you kind of need to take it back to the root cause of everything. So, like, if you're feeling isolated, like, you should definitely be in a space that is more open and has some kind of interaction throughout the day. And if you're the opposite, if you're in a salon and you are over having these people like bothering you all the time or talking to you, or you just have bad coworkers, either find a new salon. Like don't be scared. If your guests love you, like they're gonna come. Like I messaged all my people and so far I haven't had a single person that's like I'm not going. And I know a handful that probably are gonna say that they won't go, but I'm okay with that because this move for me is super important to me and my um I feel like my mental health and just in general, like my creativity. I think this move is like detrimental for me. So I think that if you're kind of in that situation that you should just look at other salons and really assess your situation. And I'm not saying that like this advice is going to work for you because I can't guarantee that, but it definitely helps to at least tour. Like at least go there and check it out because you never know until you see the environment and you are in it. There's just so many things that could be different. And if you're at a salon and you like don't like whatever, you can also go look at suites and lofts. Like I was super happy for almost 4 years I've been in one, and it was a really great experience in my career. It's so funny. Excuse me. Oh my gosh, that's embarrassing. I'll drink some water. So, whenever you are going into a suite, like that was when I first became a hairstylist, okay, I had no idea what I wanted. I didn't know what the options were in the industry. I was like, I'm just going to take every opportunity that I can get, just do it. Like, what's the worst thing that's gonna happen? I hate it, and then I quit doing that, which is fine because you can always quit. Like it does not mean anything bad if you quit something. Like you might be a quitter, but if that quit was for a good reason, then you're not a quitter. Like you just know what you want and what you don't want. So there's that. And I think that oh my gosh, my train of thought. It's talking about being a quitter because that's something that I feel like a lot of people are scared to do. Oh, so whenever I first got into the industry, I had no idea what I wanted to do. And then I made a goal whenever I was in my first job. I had just started taking clients on the floor, and I was like, you know what? I think that my 10-year goal is to have a suite or a loft. So I put that as my 10-year goal in 2018 is whenever I made that goal. Um, no, no, it wasn't. It was 2019. I made that goal in March or April of 2019. And I was like, I think that's a good goal. 10 years, build up my clientele, get the confidence to move out on my own and find somewhere. And then fast forward 1 year of taking whoever and whatever sat in my chair and just doing whatever. Like I accepted it all. I was there. I showed up and I advertised on social media. I made videos. I tried to do everything in my power to build. And then COVID happened. So March 17th, I think, was the last day I worked. And I moved 1 year later into a loft, which was my 10-year goal. So I had no idea what I was doing at that point. I was like, well, we're here. We have now accomplished the 10-year goal in 1 year, and I didn't have another goal set. So what did I do? I stayed there and I stayed stagnant. And then it was kind of crazy. Last year, I was talking to one of my guests, and they're like, what do you want to do next with your career? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm just having babies and living life. Like, I'm being in my 20s. And so I ended up saying it would be really cool to experience New York Fashion Week sometime, like do models' hair. I was like, that would be a fun experience. And then a month later, I got asked to do New York Fashion Week. And I was like, wow, that was some manifestation there. And then I started really looking into education, and I'm like, oh man, I think I want to be an educator too. But I was like, we're going to wait. Let's go to Fashion Week, see what I think, and go from there. So, November, I apply for a position with Kenra, and I'm like, we'll see what happens. There's no phone number to call, so I can't follow up. I just submitted everything, and I was like, we'll just see what happens. So then in November, I got asked to be a lead for February's Fashion Week. And then I was like, yes, opportunity comes. I'm just saying yes. I've always been like a yes person. So I accepted it. And then, ironically enough, the day I was supposed to be on a flight was the day that Kenra wanted to do an interview. So that was hilarious. And then I did the interview. I was in the whole interview process during New York Fashion Week and after. And then I got the position as an educator. And then now I've just kind of been like, what's my next goal? You know, because I've realized that if I don't set goals and I don't have something I'm aiming for, I just become burnt out and I just get in a rut where my creativity feels limited, and I just feel like I have so much to give out to the world that I can't just like not have a goal. So many things I want to accomplish in my life. Like I would love to write a book. I would love to sell a piece of art. I have made them. And I can actually show you this picture I'm drawing right now. You want to see it? It's really scary looking right now. This is what it looks like right now. So it's scary. But you guys, I do whatever. You know, I'm not scared to start a new hobby. I love to just be creative. and collaborate. So if you are also a hairstylist or an artist and you want to collaborate or you want to be on my podcast, feel free to send me a message or you can email me elizabethtyndallsalon@gmail.com and I will definitely get back to you because I am always trying to collaborate and meet like-minded people. Or you can send me a message on social media because I love to set goals and see what other people are accomplishing and if I can help them in any way. Like I referred people to the team leads of New York Fashion Week now so that they can get a chance to go and do New York Fashion Week. So I've done all these things and I just try to give as many opportunities to people around me as I can because like I feel like I would not have gotten those opportunities unless it was like a karma situation. I feel like karma just kind of comes around. So the more opportunities I can give to people, I feel like the more opportunities will keep coming my way, is kind of what's happening. So if there's anything I can do, I will always try my best. But again, I don't know. I don't know if I can do everything, but I will certainly try, or I will collaborate with you if it's a project we can do together. So that is what I wanted to talk about. Oh, there was one more thing I'm really excited about, and that's to not bring my towels and capes home and wash them in my personal washing machine every night. I have done that every night I've worked for the last 4 years. And January 1st, laundry is done at the facility and it is provided. So I am extremely excited about that, and I wrote that down on my notes. I don't know why I put that, but I literally wrote no more towels. So, yeah, I thank you so much for listening to my rant today and my venting session. That's pretty much why I have this podcast because I haven't had anyone to talk to. So maybe now I'm not going to have a lot to talk about because I'm going to be working with other people soon. But I might have more to talk about. I don't know. Have a great week creating and being awesome. And thank you for listening. I will see you next time. Punk yeah.